Welcome to SD Bansal College, Indore. This is Bansal College Online Education. The COVID era pandemic situation has put an embark on everyone's life. We teachers are facing lot many problems in teaching our students in online mode. It's very difficult for us to keep an eye on each and every students without eye contact. It's also difficult for us to switch from offline mode to online mode. In offline mode, we used to interact with our students, take attendance, give assignments, surprise tests. All these things we want to incorporate in online mode. We don't want to create YouTube channel. We have to take live online classes and teach at our students' pace.
Warm greetings, my dear colleagues. This is Dr. Richa Gupta. This video will highlight on live effective online teaching methodologies. Let's start the journey of 4 effective ideas which will make the online teaching more interactive and more interesting.
Before starting, let's talk about some tips and tricks. The first is to leave traditional way of thinking. Think out of box. Limitations of traditional teaching can overcome here. Animations, complex diagrams are now just a matter of click. Next is always start with outline. List down the topics to be covered in the class. Always end your topic with summarization. Always recap what have you learned today. Adding animations in PPT makes your presentation interactive with students. Avoid paragraph or complex sentences in PPT. PPT should have short points. This makes students to read out PPT and sync with your sayings. Few topics can always be shown with the help of videos, which was not at all possible with chalk and talk mode.
Let's talk about 4 effective ways: PPT with pen, whiteboard, screen sharing, and recording the practicals or lectures. Few important things to remember while making PPT. Use short sentences. Use pen when and where required. Apply animations. Incorporate videos as part of PPT. When to use PPT with pen? When text is written on the screen, use pen for highlighting, emphasizing keywords. Complex diagrams which took much time to draw on board now can be easily explained by zooming the particular parts. Using complex sentences such as program in execution is called process. The execution of process must progress in sequential fashion. Process is an active entity. Writing such a big sentence will not be effective. But if the same thing is represented in bullet points focusing on keywords, it will be more effective. Such as program in execution is process. Process executes in sequential fashion. It's a active entity. And finally defining the process. For explaining something, just reading out, for example here, the differences in program and process will not be effective. But if we underline, emphasize, it will be more effective. For example, here, program in execution, set of instructions, active, dynamic, passive, static. Even I can write important things on PPT. Animated diagrams gives the feeling of as if teaching in chalk and talk mode. We used to draw and explain simultaneously. This slide is showing process state diagram. In online mode, it's very easy to explain a complex diagram by zooming the specific part which we want to explain. Incorporating videos while teaching in online mode is easy. Also, it helps in breaking the monotonous way of teaching. It seeks students' attention. When to use whiteboard? When the topic needs rigorous explanations, such as solving mathematical expressions. It's combination of modern and traditional system. For this, touch screen or graphic tablet can be used. It is also useful when we have to solve runtime doubts of students. For solving this, in PPT presentation, by simply pressing W, we can have a whiteboard on screen, and it can be used as if we are teaching in traditional way offline class. In online mode, we are having the facility of typing too. When to use screen sharing? It's good for teaching any software. Coding and showing runtime execution is easy and effective. It can also be used for PPT slideshow running on the screen. Coding in online mode and showing runtime executions creates enthusiasm in students. Recorded practicals can be embedded with theory. This makes the theory lecture more effective. It can be recorded once and played when and where required. In traditional way of teaching, performing such kind of experiments, taking apparatus in the classroom is difficult, but in online mode, it can be just a part of PPT. Incorporating the online teaching methodologies for making the online class effective, following tools can be used: PPT, PowerPoint presentation, whiteboard of any meeting tool. Even while teaching with PPT, press W for having a whiteboard, screen sharing app, and a video editing tool.
But not least, an important thing to include in online teaching is to insert a small quiz during the lecture, and the student should respond through Google Form or chat. This will make your students alert, and you will be able to know those students who are not attentive. This will help you in mentoring the weak students.
A quick recap of 4 effective ways we learned in this video: PPT with pen, whiteboard, screen sharing, and recording practicals or lectures.
Hope this video will help you in making your online classes more effective, interactive, and interesting.
Thank you for listening and your patience.